Hey everybody, welcome to FoodTokTV. My name is Kaz and this is Sunday Night Live. Tonight we're going to be making fish and chips. So let me go ahead and get started. I've got potatoes here and we're going to cut them up into French fries. We are going to boil them first in a vinegar solution. It's going to take out a little bit of the starch and make them easier to fry. We're going to set them aside, then we're going to get to some other things, okay? And I'm just using white vinegar. I've got about 4 cups of water in here, and we are going to fry them a little bit later. Okay, so that's probably about 3 tablespoons, roughly, but the important thing is the vinegar solution. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started cutting these up into acceptable fry shapes, right? Fry shapes, yeah, whatever. And if you guys would like, I'll move the camera a little bit closer so that you can see what's going on. Thank you guys for coming into FoodTokTV. This is the longest running cooking show on TikTok. We haven't missed a day, or FoodTokTV hasn't missed a day since 2021. And I want to be able to see your comments, so I'm going to bring it up on my phone as well.
This is the biggest misunderstanding I see in comments, and I want to take a few minutes and clear it.
Okay, there's FoodTokTV. There we go. Let's turn it down. And now we can see your comments. Okay, everybody who just came in, thank you for coming in to FoodTokTV. Hi Alice, hi Babs, I see you all there. Now I'm going to cut these probably about a little more than a 1/4 inch thick. You want them to be about the same length every time, or the same width every time, because they'll cook at the same time. And that's what you really want. Use a sharp knife. The most dangerous thing that you can have is a dull knife. You can barely hear me? Okay, so tell me if there's a problem with my sound. If there is, I will do something about it. Melissa, you said that you can hear me. Babs can hear me. Okay, good. So whoever can't hear me, turn up your sound. Turn up the volume. This potato really wants to stick to this knife. We don't like that. So, oh, okay. Well then maybe it does need to come out. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything that I can do over here. Are you hearing me? Can you hear me any better right now? Breeze Pretend Bakeries in the house. Hi. It's the same. Same. Okay. Well then let's try it without the earphones. Okay. How can you hear me any better now? And in the meantime, I'm still going to be working on these fries here. Auntie Mary, how are you? It was nice seeing you take your walk on your live today. Okay, so it's better without the earphones. Got it. Thank you, Babs. And anybody who doesn't know what I'm doing, I'm making fries. I'm chopping up some russet potatoes to make some fries. I'm doing them just a little bit between a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch, not quite a 1/2 inch. And what I'm getting ready to do is to put them into a boiling vinegar mixture. It's going to cut the starch, make them easier to fry up a little bit later. Okay, so we're going to go over here. This is boiling water with just a little bit of white vinegar. So that's going to toughen it up. We're only going to put these in here for a few minutes. Going to let them boil maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. We don't want them to break down. So we're not trying to boil them all the way through. We're just trying to make them a little bit tender. Maybe use 2. You know what? I've got this 1/2 potato. I'm just going to keep that in water and do it a little bit later. You can keep a potato in water in your refrigerator for a couple days. It won't turn brown. Okay. So this is going to come to a boil again, probably in a few minutes. You can see all the steam. And we're going to get started on some tartar sauce. But before we make the tartar sauce, we have to make the base of it. Let me clean up just a little bit here, and then we're going to go. The base of tartar sauce is mayonnaise. I've got mayonnaise, but I decided I want to make some for you guys. Let's move this stuff around. Clean that off. Alright, so for mayo, you need a narrow vessel, okay, and an immersion blender. Now you can do it in a food processor, but that requires a few extra steps, and that's a different step, okay? So we're going to start off with a couple of egg yolks, just the yolk. That's good. Now we need some lemon juice. There's a little lemon juice in there, and there's a little water in there. And let's go ahead and get some garlic, because I like garlic. Well, I like it when I can find garlic. How about that? Ah, here we go. There's my garlic. I'm using garlic here. I know that there's some garlic haters, but I'm not one of them. It's about a clove. Gonna put on a little Dijon mustard. Awesome. And we're going to do some oil. Now before we go any further on this, I see that my potatoes are boiling. I need to check them, make sure that they're only tender. Okay, potatoes are not done, so let's go ahead and get started with this. Now you want to use a vessel that you can actually get the head of your immersion blender into, okay? Now you can use whatever neutral oil you have, or if it's not neutral and you just want to use olive oil or something fancy, or even avocado oil, that'll work. Okay, so I'm not sure whether you can see, but yeah, I think you can see. So we're going to start going. Okay, that's about a cup, but I'm going to do for 2 cups, so I'm just going to fill it up to where it needs to be, and we're going to finish off this mayo. Okay, so I'm not sure whether you can see, but our oil, our yolks, our mustard and our garlic have made mayonnaise. I'm going to add just a little bit more oil to it. And this will be the end of it. Now, from the mayonnaise, though, we're going to make tartar sauce. Okay. Mayo. Right here. No problem. Okay, we're going to get this out of the way and check on our potatoes. They look like they're done. Yep, they're done. Okay, so we're going to get the potatoes laid out so that they can dry out. They have to dry out before we actually fry them up. We move all this stuff out of the way. We're going to put the potatoes on a bed of paper towels. And I'm sorry if I missed, were there any questions? Tap, tap, tap. Thank you, Melissa. Tap the screen, everybody. Okay, so I'm doubling up these paper towels because we don't want the fries to be wet when we fry them. And right now they've been boiling in a vinegar solution, so let's turn that off. Now when you do this and you mitigate the starch, they won't brown as much. So this is going to be pretty much as if they were, I don't know, very, very light fries like Whataburger or McDonald's. Unless, of course, I burn them. But I'm going to try, even though I don't have Christine here to watch me, I think I'm still going to be able to get this right. Babs is here. Okay, just about got them all. Awesome. Okay, so we want to put these on as close to one layer as possible because we're really just trying to get them to dry. Now when I'm doing potato chips, I use the same method, but I will go ahead and put paper towels on top because potato chips need to be really, really crispy. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And we're going to get to the tartar sauce again. Alright, so for the tartar sauce, let's go ahead and get a container here. And probably, I only need about a cup of tartar sauce. So we'll save the mayonnaise for a little bit later here. Let's cut up an onion. We're going to do a small dice on that. And we don't need the entire onion. Matter of fact, I would probably actually do a shallot. But an onion is what I have. There's no reason to go out and pay money for something else. On to Mary. Trying not to freak out. Did I miss something? I must have missed something. What did I miss, guys? Montemary's freaking out. Save the bread. Bread? I have no clue what you guys are talking about. Alright. Oh, there's a centipede. There's a centipede. Okay, I get it. I completely get it. There's a centipede on your wall? There shouldn't be centipedes anyplace, should there? Okay, so I'm going to dice this a little bit. Small dices, so I'm just making small cuts. If you were doing a shallot, it would be finely diced. So let's finely dice the onion. Now, if you cook at home, you're not going to be so worried about having half an onion laying around because it's not going to lay around very long. Okay, so if you don't cook at home, please don't worry that that it's going to get wasted, because it won't. See, a little skin there. Let's get that out. That's going to go into our tartar sauce. That was about 1/4 of an onion. If you're using shallot, you just use the whole shallot, okay? So I'm going to put this in the fridge. Put it aside right now. I'm not going to go through all that right now. Put it in the fridge. All right. Let's get some capers. Now, I do not like the caper juice, okay? I don't like it. So I'm going to get rid of it, get rid of as much as I can. And we're going to chop them up a little bit. Caper juice. Yeah, it sounds cute. Okay, brine. How about that? Yeah, I don't always use the technical terms, but did you also know that 20% of all medical doctors smoke too? I don't know. I just made that up. So please don't quote me. Okay, capers. We're going to get a little dill relish going on in here. Now you can use sweet relish if you want, but you won't be making tartar sauce. if you want to, you can do that. All right. I've got some dried parsley, actually freeze-dried parsley. A couple tablespoons of that. And let's say a tiny bit of salt, not much. The capers have got salt in them. And some fresh made mayo. This is my tartar sauce. It's going into the fridge right now. Then we're going to get started on the rest of the meal. Let's give it a taste. Well, that's tartar sauce. I think that it can use a little bit more dill. I do have some dry because I suspect it. Okay, this goes back in the fridge and it's to marinate for a little bit, okay? Into the fridge it goes. You guys, thank you for watching or tuning into Food Talk TV. We go live every single day. Don't know who was trying to call me, but they'll get over it. Unless it was Babs. Hi Des, how you doing? Okay, so I'm making fish and chips. And you can do this with any white fish that you have, okay? Any white fish that you have. Today I'm using whiting, but you can use pollock, you can use cod. Okay. Someone really wants to talk to me, and I'm really going to go to Do Not Disturb. Do Not Disturb, right there. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to cut this up into 4 pieces here. There is skin on this particular, but it's actually edible. You can take it off if you want. Let's do this. I haven't actually filleted a fish in a long time. Let's see if I still know how to do it here. Lay it down, skin side down. Put the knife as close as you can to the cutting board. And then you just go back and forth and back and forth. Here. Let's get closer to... And you guys can tell that I'm using a vegetable knife, but let's see. Shouldn't make any difference. Ah! Didn't work. Let's try it again though. There we go. You guys know me. I'm not going to give up. There's your skin. You can see right through it. Okay. Let's do that. I'm not going to do the other ones. Let's do this one. And I think, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the skin off of this one too. And there is your skin again. Oops. A little piece of meat. Didn't get all the way through. Nothing but skin. Alright, so we're going to flour these up and we're going to let them sit just a little bit while we make up the beer batter. And I've already shown you guys, if you've seen the video that's up on FoodTokTV right now, what the beer that I recommend, because you don't want to have a beer, use a beer like Guinness or any dark beer. You don't want to do that. The reason why you don't want to do it is because whitefish doesn't have a lot of flavor, and you don't want your beer to take over the flavor of the fish. Okay, you don't want your beer to overpower it. Okay, so we're going to let these sit aside until we make the batter, and we're going to start working on the batter right now. I'm just washing my hands. And we're going to clean off the table just a little bit. You guys have a live goal up there. If you can help me meet the live goal. The gifts help us do the things we do here on FoodTokTV every single day. Right. So, we're going to start off here with a cup and a half of, or about a cup of flour. About a cup of flour. We're also going to add a little bit of cornstarch. Awesome. So we're actually going to be making crispy fish and chips. So these won't be the big fluffy ones that you're used to. This is going to have more of a crispy coating. Let's make sure that the flour and the cornstarch get mixed in. Now we're going to go in with some baking powder. And we're also going to do baking soda. Oh, okay. You guys, the reason why Christine isn't here is because she's on a plane. She was here in Dallas with many other of the FoodTokTV crew. We were at our end of year cookout, or end of summer cookout that was hosted by Queen G's Texas Kitchen and Jesse, Mr. Crown Royal. It was really, really a fun time. Also, this recipe, this is a beer batter recipe, but we're using a different ingredient. Let me get this beer out of the fridge. And we'll talk about the ingredient. Let's hope this is twist off. Ah, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, here we go. So in this measuring cup already is a 1/4 cup of vodka. We're using vodka as well as beer because we want a crispy coating. Does anybody know why vodka? Cheers. Does anybody know why I'm using vodka? I'll give you guys a couple seconds here. Now I'm going to add the beer to it. This is a nice ice cold beer. Because it's delish. Okay. It's made out of potatoes. Okay. The reason why I'm using vodka to supplement a little bit of my liquid is because I want this to be crispy, and vodka will evaporate. So it's going to start off liquidy, but as I cook it, the vodka will evaporate. The alcohol won't be gone all the way, but it will evaporate. And when it starts frying, then the breading will become crispier, quicker. And I guess like October Dragonfly said, it's delicious. And I think we would need the entire cup, but it looks like we do. So what we want is this to be the consistency of paint, a little bit thinner than pancake batter. And we don't have to worry about all the lumps. That's not going to be a deal breaker. It's getting there. I know, it is interesting, isn't it? I'm glad that Taylor wasn't in. Taylor would have known right away. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, that's our batter. Let's get some oil going. I'm gonna take this stuff off so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. Go ahead and move the camera just a little bit. Okay, that pan's hot. Don't know if the oil is hot though. So the oil needs to be at 350 degrees. And I'm going to need to let this cool down just a little bit. Because that's way too hot. All right, so while I'm doing that, well, you know what? At 400 degrees, I can actually do the French fries. Let's do the French fries. That's not going to hurt nothing. Okay, so these are the French fries. They are dry now. They have a little bend in them. And they have a little bend in them because, of course, we boiled them in a vinegar solution. So, don't want to go too far over 400 though. $450. Yeah, this is really going to have to cool down for a little bit. We don't need 500 degree oil. That's really weird. We don't even get to a smoke point. Are you afraid to deep fry? Fran, no, you're not afraid to deep fry. Okay, don't be afraid to deep fry. There's some things that you need to know. Let me show you this. This is a mistake that a lot of people make. Whatever you're using, do not fill it up to the halfway point. Keep it below the halfway point. Okay? Keep it below the halfway point, because at the once it goes to the halfway point, whatever you put in there is going to get closer to the top. And if whatever you're putting in there has water or a lot of water. A lot of H2O content is going to start boiling. And when it starts boiling, you're going to freak out. It's not going to be good, because if it boils over, then you've got oil coming out over into whatever your heat source is. Now, if you've got a induction, it's no problem. That's not going to cause a problem. But if you have gas, you will have fire. The most important thing, do not fill up to the halfway point of whatever vessel you're using. Be safe. Be safe. Your egg splatter and butter. Everybody's egg splatters. Okay, Fran? Everybody's egg splatters. Don't let that get to you, okay? You just need to step back, or don't do eggs naked. Bacon either. Okay, it's down to 430. It went from 470 to 430 in about 3 or 4 minutes. So let's see if let's give it just another couple minutes and we'll do it. Okay, who says hello from California? Bab7 is in California. Okay. Stacy is asking, can you explain how you prep the potatoes? Okay. I put in about 2 quarts of water into a pot and about 2 or 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Actually, I just poured. I just eyeballed it. Put it into the water. Brought it to a boil and let them boil until they were pliable. Okay? Just pliable. Then you let them dry. Oh. Okay. All right. I'm thinking we are almost there. Almost at 400. Remember, we started at 470. We're getting very close. Let me go get a spider so I can get everything out of here. this is a spider. Don't ask me why it's called that. It just is. Okay? And let's get some fries going. Now I'm probably going to have to do these in batches. And once they come out, they're going to go into a wire rack. Now, all I'm looking for is just a tiny bit of color on these. Since I boiled them in the vinegar mixture, they're already mostly done. If I were at McDonald's, I would have a timer. But a timer wouldn't do me any good now because I don't really know how much time it's going to take. I just need to look for the right color. And I'm not looking for anything brown. Because I did the vinegar, the brown, no, they will not taste like vinegar. They will not. The vinegar just takes out the starch. Okay, it's getting very close. Now when you're frying something like this thin, when you say close, that means done. Because you let them stay in there for just any longer and they'll be burnt. So see, we don't have the typical brown color that you get from people's home fries. That's what the vinegar does. Let's get some more going on. And it's always good to put your seasoning on anything that you deep fried as soon as it comes out. The reason is it'll stick better. And I'm using it's called Friday. It's by Tones and it's French fry seasoning. Okay, let's get some more French fries in here. Boy, TikTok loves frying stuff, don't they? The algorithm really does love when you fry some. Okay, so I just turned on the fire. The reason why I turned it on is because the oil was starting to go below 350, and I absolutely need 350 here. Chef T says because of ASMR, I'll go with that. Okay, let's get this out of the way. This is what the fries were drying on after being boiled in the vinegar mixture. Whenever you go to a restaurant and they've got homemade potato chips on the menu, what you're going to see a lot of times is some very, very brown, not burnt, but very, very brown potato chips. They're going to be very crispy. The reason why they're brown is they skip that first step of boiling them in the vinegar and water. You do that, you come up with something more like a Lay's kind of color. So if I go for just a second. This is one of the potato chips, or one of the French fries. Tender on the inside. That fry sauce is full. I said sauce. You need a bite, Fran? Hello, Benita. Thank you for the heart. Now, if you want these crispy, you'll put them back in the fryer one more time. All you have to do is to double fry. You fry at a lower temperature, then let them rest for about 5 minutes, or a week in the freezer or whatever. But let them rest for at least 5 minutes. And after that 5 minutes, you put them back in the oil at a very high temperature, just for a minute. And it'll get crispier and crispier and crispier. I've been told that the more times that you do this, I haven't tried it, but the more times that you fry instead of just double frying, the crispier it gets. If there's anybody in there in the comments who knows, I would like to know if that's a true thing. Oh, I see Jeff is in there. Mr. Ork. Hey, Jeff. How's your family? How's the wife? Mama T says, yes, it is true. Okay. Yeah, I've just never done that. For anyone who doesn't know, Mama T does have a culinary background. How much water and vinegar? I used 2 quarts of water, and I used about 2 to 3 tablespoons of vinegar. You can use more. You're only boiling them for about 5 minutes until they get soft. And thank you for pinning the question, whoever did that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna depend on that on this slide. You guys, whoever the moderators are, if they're really good questions in there, pin them until I look down, okay? Then you can just find the next question. Okay, this is starting to get a little color. Also, if I hadn't have done the vinegar and water boil, these will be brown already. Could I have kept the skin on? Yes, absolutely. Okay, so you may have noticed when I put these in, they were boiling a lot. That was the water coming off the potatoes. they're not boiling so much because there's less and less water in the potatoes. If I let this go until there's no bubbles, no boiling at all, there will be no water left in them at all, and they will be crispy. Now I'm trying to make these more like Whataburger or McDonald's fries, so I want them to have, I don't want them to all be crispy. As a matter of fact, I want them to be soft on the middle and firm on the outside. When you're making homemade potato chips, you're definitely going to go until there's no bubbles. Zero. Hi everybody, if you're just tuning in, please give us a follow. We're FoodTokTV. We go live every single day of the week. Melissa Murd is in the house. Her show comes on tomorrow. It's called The Spice is Right, and it'll come on about a half an hour after RX's show, Guadua Cooks. Okay. Just a little bit more color. And please follow Melissa Murd. Just tap on her name and hit follow. See, anybody who's ever fried potatoes, this has been like 8 or 9 minutes and there's still no brown. This is the kind of French fries that I like. Oh, Maggie, yes. Oh my, Maggie the substitute teacher on Fridays. Maggie is awesome. I'm glad somebody put in the comments that Maggie is their favorite. And our newest chef is Des, and she's a vegan cook. Okay, this is going to be good enough for me. Okay, I have to do a puzzle piece. And it's saying it doesn't like the way I do it. Huh. Okay, I have to do this puzzle piece. Otherwise we're going to be off the air. But I can't let the potatoes go. Okay, good. Let's get this out of here. And let's do this puzzle piece. We are good. Okay, let's see how much oil we got, and or how much the oil is heated up to. And we're going to start on, it's just 300. Let's get up to 350. We're going to go for it. All right. I hate these instant read thermometers that you have to hold for 3 minutes over the heat. kind of defeats the purpose. Okay, so I'm going to back up here so that you guys can see both things, okay? I hope you can see both things. All right, so this is for the fish and chips. This is the fish. Let's go ahead and see if I'm going to mix up the batter just a little bit. Yeah, here we go. This fish has been sitting in flour basically to dry out. Okay, then it's going to go back into the flour. I was trying to keep my hands clean. That's not going to work. You just have to deal with it. We're going to go back again. This time though, we're going to go into the oil. Now remember, because we use the vodka instead of all beer, they're going to get crispier quicker. Okay, we're also not looking for a lot of color on this, okay? Fish and chips. Want to dig out any of the remaining batter because that's just going to burn if it stays in there. And let's go for the next one. So what I've been finding since doing this just now is that the fish that I'm using, the whiting fish, very delicate. Very delicate. And what I mean by delicate is that it's falling apart if I handle it too rough. this stuff. Wash some hands. Turn them over. These are done. I'm gonna drop off a little of this oil and put it up to the camera for you check out. These are supposed to be crispy, so we have to test to see if they're crispy. How do we do that? We're going to take a fork, run it across. Let's see. I'm running this across. Breading isn't coming off. This is a proper beer batter. But I made one small adjustment. I took out a little bit of the beer liquid and I added vodka. All right. Oh, okay. Let me move this stuff out of the way here. And I'm going to show you one other little trick. Don't grab a pot without protection, okay? No, that wasn't a trick. Okay, here we go. Now, I like malt vinegar. I like malt vinegar with my fish and chips. It just kind of gives me that little feeling of authenticity. How about that? But when they bring it to the table, see this little bitty slit? It's supposed to put just a little bit on there, but I'm never any good at it. So, this is going to help me control. It's a little bottle, you can get them at the dollar store. I think I got this at Walmart a long time ago. You don't need to put a lot in there. pump it up. No, it's got to go up to the, at least the level. And anything that I don't use, I can put back into the bottle. This is basically the only thing that I use this bottle for, by the way. Okay, so let's get some fries on here. And of course, we do have tartar sauce. Let's get that tartar sauce. It's been in the refrigerator. Everything marrying together. Pop this back on. This is tartar sauce that we made earlier. It's mayonnaise that actually I made the mayonnaise from egg yolks, oil, garlic, Dijon mustard, and a little bit of water. And then I added capers, dill, and capers, dill. What else did I add in here? Oh yeah, about a quarter of an onion. You might want to do an entire shallot. And I used dill relish. And it's been sitting off to the side for a while. See how thick that is? All made from scratch. These recipes will be up on FoodTokTV. They are not yet. Let's see if we can get this to work now. Oh, come on. Let's see. Maybe we have this turned off. Possible. There we go. Very fine mist. Okay, and that's just to give me the flavor of the malt instead of pouring it all over. And let's bring up the camera here. First, let's... So these are crispy fish and chips. This batter is a beer batter with a little bit of vodka so that it will get crispier faster. The French fries were pre-done or pre-boiled in vinegar and water. That's the reason why there's no browning on them. And I was able to cook them a lot longer. They're not overly done or hard. They're about the same consistency as Whataburger or McDonald's French fries. And this is homemade mayonnaise that I've also then taken a step further and made into tartar sauce. And now I'm going to taste. Hey y'all, thank you for coming in. Thank you for being at my live. All right. Now, I grew up, fish and chips were finger food. So maybe it's not finger food for you, but it is for me, all right? So this is one of the fish with the tartar sauce on there. And it's got a very, very thin spritz of malt vinegar. And it is good. Oh my gosh, it's good. So, even though the outside of it is crispy, take a look. It's fluffy on the inside. The fish is completely done. This is perfect. The French fries are nice and almost creamy on the inside. Almost like mashed potatoes on the inside because of the boiling. And you can even make these better by, after you boil them, put them in the freezer. You put them in the freezer and they're going to be exactly like fast food. Exactly like it. Now the seasoning, there is fry seasoning that I put on there that I bought. Where's it at? Oh no. Oh, here it is. And this was at Walmart too, so it's called Friday French Fry Seasoning Blend. It's very good. All right. Now, I'm going to look down, see if I have any questions before we end the live. Oh, thank you, Texas lady. That's so nice. Well, we have so many great people on this network. You guys, we've got 14 shows, and we're probably going to have more soon. Okay, we've got 14 shows. I can tell you that if you're interested in being on FoodTokTV, your level of cooking skill is not as important as your personality. Hello, Forge. How are you? How are you? What kind of fish? I use whiting fish. And thank you, Jen. That means a lot coming from you, Jen. I appreciate it. Jen goes live on her channel and she cooks all the time. So if you're interested in cooking, please tap on her name and give her a follow. Jen was also a contestant on Grunt Match. So she is a friend of the channel. Thank you, Mama T. Again, coming from Mama T. That's awesome. Mama T, her show comes on. Cooking with Mama T comes on. And Mama T is also a trained chef. And she is so much fun. She is so much fun. When is the next Grub Match? I don't know. Fran, thank you. I appreciate that. I love all you guys. We could not do it. We could not do this without you guys, okay? This has been a great 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. This has been great. So, okay, we're gonna let you go. And before I go, I do need to remind everybody that there are many, many good people in this world. But if you can't find one, just be one. I love you guys.